Hi guys, today we're working with colored pencils and we are making a sunset with a sailboat. For this project, I'm going to take my thick paper and I'm going to fold it in half. I like to have different size art projects. So this one is going to be half the size of our 11 by 15 thick paper. So I folded it in half and then I'm just going to cut it. Okay. And actually, our picture is going to be in the vertical position. You're also going to need rubbing alcohol. This is optional at the end. We'll do some blending with the rubbing alcohol. And we're also going to need a paintbrush. And then these are the colors we're working with today. Okay, so let's start with orange. Okay, and with the orange, I'm going to draw my hill off in the background. Okay, so first, actually, let's do just a line across. It's about halfway, little above halfway mark. I'm gonna do a line across here. That's our horizon mark. And then from there, I'm going to make a hill like this. And everyone's could look a little different. So that's why I'm not even using pencil first, because let's just go with it for the first try and see what happens. So these are bumpy lines. Going to kind of come to a point right about here. Make it a little darker so you could see it. And it's going to come that way. Okay, and then right about here, we're going to have a little slope. This is going to be black later. Okay. There. Okay, so I'm going to, now that we did that, I'm going to pick up my yellow. And I'm going to be working side to side. I'm going to leave a white space in the middle. So kind of just watch me first before you do this. Okay, do you see how I left this space right here? It's white still. Okay, most of that is all white in there. And now I'm going to go back through it and make some of it a little darker towards the edges. So I'm just going to push a little bit harder. And I'm going to make it even darker near the edges. Another layer of color. Good. And I'm also going to just lightly make some yellow just above this line, all the way down. Not pushing as hard, it's just very light. Same thing over here on this side. We'll put a little bit over there. Okay, and now we're going to go down towards where the water is going to be. And we're going to make our reflection. So again, there's going to be a white space in the middle here. So this is one side. Then I'm going to skip a space in there. And we're going to do the other side. And I want you to notice that it's not like a perfectly straight line that goes down. It's jagged, which means that some of my yellow comes in a little more than others. And when I get to about here, I'm going to close it off. Like that. Okay. And then just like we did up here, I'm going to go back through again, and only on the edges, I'm going to do another layer of yellow. Make it even darker. So I'm going on top of the yellow, only on the edges. And then down here, I'm going to do the whole thing, make that darker. I like to roll my pencil a little bit so one side doesn't get worn more than the other. Okay. There you go. We're going to switch colors for a little bit. And let's start with our orange. And let's work with the sky. So this color, I'm just going to lightly use the orange. You can overlap it on top of the yellow a little bit. I'm going to be doing a lot of layers of color. Paper's moving around on me. I am going on top of that yellow a little bit. Okay. Then I'm going to take there's a color you should have, it's the red orange. So it's cross between these two. It's kind of in the middle. And I'm going to go back on top in some areas. There's lots of different colors in a sunset, right? Okay, then I'm going to take the regular red, and I'm just going to use this color at the top. I want it the darkest at the top. Couple little streaks here, a little bit there. And then last, I'm going to pick up my orange again, and we're going to go back through and overlap it on top of these reds. Putting it on top of the yellow too. You can change the direction that you're coloring a little bit too to fill in some of those white spaces. Because the more layers that you do with colored pencils, the better it's going to look. Colored pencils you can really work with for days and days and days on the same project to get the best results. Okay, I'm going to switch back to side. And I like to use the side of my pencil. And I keep twisting it so it doesn't get worn down only on one side. Changing direction. Okay, and then I'm going to take my yellow and I'm going to go on top of these colors a little bit. It just makes it look more like the light is radiating everywhere. Okay. You can take your white, put some in the middle here, where we left that space blank. Okay. And if you want to give your hands a break for a second from all of that coloring in the sky, we can take, and this part is optional, so if you don't want to use the rubbing alcohol, you don't have to. You can just fast forward past it, but I'm gonna dip my brush in a little of the rubbing alcohol, and then I'm just going to blend my colors a little bit. You see the difference? The color looks a little more vivid than that side, and it kind of fills in those white spaces when you do that. Isn't that cool? And that's why I'm using thick paper, because I don't want it to rip. So I'll do this half first so you could see the difference. Okay, so you see this side compared to that side? Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and make the both sides match. Rubbing alcohol dries very fast, so it shouldn't be wet for long. Yay! That looks really good. So that's our sky. Okay, our sunset is really coming along. Now we're going to move on to this hill back here first, okay? So I'm going to use my red orange. Go back over this line. Maybe a little wet still over there. Okay. Then I'm going to put my orange right on top of that color. So we did the red orange and then the orange. Okay. Now the rest of this, I don't want it to be as dark, so I'm just gonna lightly color it with the same color orange. And remember, at any time, if your hand is getting tired, you can take a break, pause it. I'm just going in the other direction with the same color, but I'm not pushing hard at all. Very gently coloring. Okay. Okay, I'm going to also lightly go over it with the red orange. As we keep layering our colors. In the middle, we're going to put a little bit of yellow. Okay, then I'm going to pick up my orange again. I want it darkest towards the sides here. So blend that a little bit more. And then over here. And then let's go ahead and take our white. Let's just go over all of this a little bit. Before I use the rubbing alcohol again, I'm just gonna give it another little layer of orange. We're keeping it lightest in the middle where the yellow is. I'm not pushing hard, and then I'm just gonna keep it darkest on the edges. All right. So now we're ready to blend it again. So I'm going to take my brush and my rubbing alcohol. I'm going to smudge all of that. Okay, we're almost ready to move on to the next part of our landscape. Okay, so now we have the hill off in the distance finished, and the next one has more red tones to it with a little bit of black. So I'm taking my red, not the red orange, but the red, and we are going to fill in this section. I'm going to start off just going side to side. There I go, moving again. Change direction. Now I'm just making some little almost like zigzags that are darker than the rest. Take some white in here. Just add a little bit of white to it in the lighter places. And then I'm going to pick up the black. I'm going to add some black in here. Okay. And we're going to pick up our paintbrush with the rubbing alcohol again. Kind of smudge in those shadows. Right, and then this one is black. So you go ahead and outline it first. All the way across. And then at the top of this line, I'm going to just make little lines going up. Let's just make it kind of jagged, so it's not a perfect line anymore. Overlapping it on that other color. Okay. And that I did kind of push hard when I did that. All right. Now I'm turning my pencil on its side to continue filling this in. Remember, we're not in a rush, so the more time you take in this art, in this picture, the nicer it's going to look. And now I'm changing directions to get more of those white spaces filled in. We're getting there. Almost done. I know you might need to give your hands a little break for a second. That's okay. Or like I said, just pause it, go get a snack, come back later. Because this is a lot of coloring. Your hand is getting a workout today. But we voted and you guys picked colored pencils for week 10, which I was so excited about because colored pencils are a lot of fun. Okay, I was just going back through here and changing my direction a little bit to make sure it's all filled in. And now that it is, I'm going to take my paintbrush again. And we're gonna go back through here. And remember what we did over here to make it not look like such a perfectly straight line. We're gonna do that again with the paintbrush going all the way down. Like that. I just love how the colors look more vibrant when you use the rubbing alcohol. All right. Woo! You guys are doing so good. We're getting there. The water is easier than what we have been doing because we're going in the same direction with everything. But let's go ahead and draw our sailboat first. So my sailboat is a triangle, and it's going to come from above here like this. So the first part of the triangle, it's just like a straight line up and down, and then the other part is what comes out this way a little bit. Okay, and then once we get there, we're just going to connect it. And then I'm going to make another line inside there, like this. Okay. And then below that is the boat part. So there's like this little space in between there. Like that. And this is all going to be black in here. You can make it look like there's something on the boat by not making it so perfectly straight in there. And add a couple little lines to connect it, and then we can color this in. So there's our sailboat. We're going to be using black for shadows later, but we'll put that down for now. And let's pick up our orange. Okay, so we're going to start at the area next to the yellow on both sides, and we're just going to overlap orange on top. And remember, we don't want it to look like straight lines. We want it to be kind of zigzaggy so that they all overlap on top of each other. Like that. I'm going to come up this way. Gotta put some orange in between here. Okay. All right. And now I'm going to use oops, not yellow, the red orange. Go back on top, so overlapping a little bit. And I'm really not pushing hard for the water either. Just kind of lightly coloring this. Then I'm going to use the True Red for the bottom and the outer edges. Okay, and then I'm going to pick up my orange again and go over all of that just to add another layer. Okay, and now before we blend all of this, we want to do those shadows. So you're going to pick up your black, and we're going to start right here. Just go down a little bit like that. It's a shadow there. And then this shadow is actually going to be a triangle. Like that. You could add a little bit of shadows on the outer edges here. A little bit over here. Okay, are you ready to blend this now? And then we're going to be finished. Okay, so paintbrush, let's see. I need a little more rubbing alcohol because I used it all. All right. Okay, we'll start up here. Shadows going. I'm going to go slow on this part. can't wait to see how all of yours are turning out. The rubbing alcohol can make your paper curl a little bit. So then once you're done, you can flip it over and put a book on top of it. This way, it'll flatten back out. I ran out again. Okay, and that's it, everyone. This was our colored pencil sailboat sunset. So make sure you take a picture of yours. I can't wait to see it. And then, like I said, you can flip it over and just put something heavy on top of it so that it dries flat. And I will see you next time. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.